This program is proudly brought to you by the Peel Dance Bar, corner of Peel and Wellington Streets, Collingwood.
Lord, it must be Monday night. Ben TV, blah, blah, blah. Channel 31. Here we are sitting here at the Peel. What are we discussing tonight? Community groups. That's right, it's not necessarily a white bread world, people. Vanilla Road, you're in for a big shock. Tonight, I've got members from many different, wonderful, culturally rich community groups that you Vanilla Road Queens would have absolutely no effing idea what we're on about. With me here on my, no wait, let's just start. I've got Orlando here from the Multicultural Gays group. Is it Multicultural Guys nowadays? Multicultural Guys, yes? Yes. I've got Ron from Out Black here. Yep. Yes. And I've got Sudar, is that Sid from Orlando? No, what's that? Sorry, that's Orlando here. We've got Sid here from Anbar, Anbar, basically, right. Orlando, community group. Tell us a little bit about your community group. What sort of people what sort of members do you have in your group?
From all walks of life, all ages, and it's all international or whatever, like other nationalities, and it is a support group now.
As well as a community group, or is it
yes,
community or just
a support and a social group? Mainly is a social support group now.
How often do you meet?
We haven't discussed it yet because we just started the multicultural guys at the moment. We just started the meeting of the steering committee, which comprises about 7 or 8 people altogether. And so this is the start of a new, fresh support social group.
Now, before I actually lower myself to the depths of absolute rudeness, I'm going to introduce every single guest that I have here. Over here, I've got Jamie Gardner once again, who is my resident blah 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 lawyer and my saviour. I have Tony, who is a member of the Multicultural Guys group.
Yes.
Is it? Yes, that's correct. Then I have Len, who is also a member of the Multicultural Guys group. We've got Mark here, who's a member of Out Black. We've got Orlando, once again. Multicultural Guys, and you're the convener of the Multicultural Guys
recently,
group?
Yes, last March. Yeah.
Jerry, member of Anbar, yeah, and Ron from Out Black. Peter here, who's a member of the Multicultural Guys group as well. Sid, Orlando, and what's your position? You're the convener of Anbar, and
John,
and you're a member of
Anbar, yeah.
And
Sid's partner.
Sid's
yes.
partner. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Ron, tell me a little bit about your group.
Out Black, that's the name of our group, and we are known also as the Gay Koori Gay Group.
Gay Koori Gay Group.
Koori Gay Group,
yeah,
and transgender sister girls.
How many members would you have?
On our books, we actually have been about now almost hitting 70.
70 people.
And that's just here in Victoria.
In Victoria.
Yeah.
And so, is your group affiliated with other groups across the country? Like you know, like in New South Wales or in Queensland and all that sort of stuff?
You can say a bit of an affiliation that each state has their own little groups. Right. But as far as I know, we are the biggest ones.
So is Out Black a support group or a community group or both?
We are actually known as a social support group.
So what exactly is that?
Well, the social support group, we actually have community meetings.
Right.
And we hold community functions.
How often do your meetings meet?
Well, our meetings are actually it's basically to be announced each month or 2 months, mainly because all our members do work, and getting everybody to the meeting at the one time is a hard thing to do.
Right. Okay.
But with our social functions, we look at, say, once every 4 months.
Right, okay. Yeah. And that's at the Star Hotel, is it?
We do the Star,
Hotel,
and just recently we've been at the Forum Theatre.
And that was like NAIDOC Week a couple of weeks ago.
No, it's not NAIDOC Week, that was for reconciliation.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, NAIDOC Week doesn't come in until July.
Right, well, we're in July now, so
No, we're in June.
Are we? Well,
Yes.
maybe,
Yeah.
but the magic of television, you just don't know exactly when exactly we are. We could very well be in July.
Oh, we are in July. Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you very much. Absolutely. So how was NAIDOC week?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah, we had a fantastic night.
Yeah.
You know, show went on perfectly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
It was fantastic.
Sid, tell me a little about your group.
We're primarily a social group for the gay and lesbian from the South Asian continent, basically the Indian subcontinent.
So what does that exactly? What countries would they include?
That's India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, and Bangladesh.
Where are the Maldives? They're off India, are they?
They just below Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also, people from other countries, people who come from that continent.
How many members would be in your group?
The mailing list runs 50 to 60, but when it's come to active members, I guess 40 to 50. Yeah.
Orlando, what's the age group of the members of your group?
Well, at the moment, I think it would be 60, and the younger one.
They're all 60 years old. Is that
No,
what you're
no, but there are more now younger one, which is about around about on the late 20s or 30, something like that.
Okay, cool. And how many members of your group say would actually go to gay venues and cruise around on town and go, cruise around Vanilla Road and
No, they don't. I think that they prefer that we should have our own social group.
So is there a reason why they don't go to gay venues? Do you think?
No, I haven't spoken to them about it. I think they prefer that, and in our group, like the Monterey guys, that there is a sense of belongingness, and we know each other, and you are not a total stranger in that in our group. So that's why they're more happy and they are not frightened or threatened. But I think if they go to like a pub, gay pub, whatever, maybe two or three of them, they feel threatened or isolated in that matter. So they prefer to be in our group, yeah, because they are more, they feel at home.
Right.
So
I guess one of the reasons we formed the group is very similar to what Orlando said. Like, the members sometimes feel isolated to be assimilated to the wider gay community, so they feel more at home sort of environment within the group.
So you're telling me that the white gay community have problems with assimilating this cultural richness that I have before me?
I think the perception has been a great problem to being a minority group within the minority gay group. There's a barrier for people from those background to enter into the wider gay community.
you can feel
With our
it.
group, we come together also to talk on common ground. The things we know, what we can say to each other, and we have an understanding. People understand what you're talking about.
For sure.
Like the Europeans or the.
Yeah, I think that sharing experience has been a great asset within small group.
Yeah, well, that's the way we look at it also. And it's coming together, it's uniting us. Like if we did this, we've only been around 3 years. Prior to that, we it's just be individuals going around, and just saying hi, how are you, and then just walking away.
So how long has your group been around, Orlando?
The old one, it would be now 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Right. And what was there a need 10 years ago to form a group like that? Do you think things are different now 10 years ago as opposed to they are now?
I think when it was founded, it was so active, it was so grandiose, the objectives and the aims are so grandiose, and then as the years goes by, it was sort of goes down and becoming low profile, and then members apparently might become more they become more inactive in some way in their social part of their life.
So has any of your groups actually changed the way white gay people treat you? Like do you feel that your group's actually achieving something in the way of actually changing attitudes?
I think it is, because when we go out to venues, if we're in a group, people observe us a lot.
There's strength in numbers, obviously.
Of course, like that old saying, divide and conquer. But now we're anointed, and when we go out, people see us, and we're a stronger profile.
Right.
And that does cause people to come over and sometimes talk,
Right.
And just talk about common issues there. You know. But it is an awareness also for say like security on the doors,
Right.
bar staff. That's where you get served.
Yeah.
You know.
How long's your group been around for?
Basically, we're coming up to our 4th year now.
4th year.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
How long your
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Yeah. And why did you start your group primarily? What motivated you? Did you create the group?
Yeah, I was one of the founder members.
And what was your motivation?
Basically to give a similar background or a venue for people who can share similar experiences.
Right, okay. Cool. I mean, is the gay community a pleasant place to exist?
When you talk of the gay community, you're talking of the visible...
Primarily I'm talking about like obviously gay venues, like as in clubs, pubs, that sort of things. What about like social groups, like sporting groups and things like that?
Well, for a person like myself who likes to play sport, it's okay.
Right.
But I have found that from a social point of view, from an acceptance point of view, it's been another story. But I have sort of coped with that.
Okay.
I think the gay community is quite a comfortable place to live in if you're not Indigenous or from a multicultural background. I think it's quite a comfortable place for people other than those to live in.
Right.
And I think just picking up on your point about is there more relevance for community groups these days? I think there is a place for these sorts of groups to be here more so today. I think it's important because you have more people, I think, who from these backgrounds who are out on the scene, as opposed to say 10, 15 years ago when there weren't that many that were out and they could go into the community, and because the community at back when you go back then wasn't particularly big. So.
All right, now I think I'm getting the wind up for us. Sponsor break, and look, when we get back I want to discuss a little bit more about that, and also I want to talk about funding as well, and where you get your funding, lack of funding, who gets more funding from what, and basically how we can go about getting more funding possibly for more groups as well. All right, so we'll be right back, just don't worry about that, we'll come back.
We could advertise something.
Oh yes.
So
I mean,
here we are
our
once
group,
again, blah, 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 Monday night at the Peel. And did you know I've been sober now for weeks and I'm still sitting in this bar? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? My mother would be so proud of me, so proud of me. I've been spending my money on good things. Now, if we're going to be talking about money, let's talk about funding for community groups. Now, seriously, I mean, where do you get your funding from? Do you have a membership? Do members have membership fees?
No, we don't have a membership, but we pass a hat around to collect money.
And is that just at the meetings?
Just at the meeting and the social functions.
Do you get any funding from any government agencies or anything?
Nothing at all.
What about Victoria also Foundation or Victorian AIDS Council or anything like
The
that?
Victorian Aid Council, they help us to establish the group as a contact link. Otherwise, it's just all up to us to run the group.
Are you poor? You need more money?
Well, it depends on the members, actually. At this stage, we just manage all the stamp and stationery costs.
Are you out for donations?
I'm sorry?
Are you looking for donations? What's the phone number? What's your phone number? Sid, give us your phone number.
Okay, it's 9481
9481
1424.
1424. Okay, fine. Ring up 9481 1424, and I want you to start giving these people money, all right, because they need the support, all right? They do a lot of good work, okay? Getting people's minds sorted out is far more important. Giving them the tools to survival is very, very important. All right, Ronnie, tell me, how do we get in contact with you?
Email, which is
Yeah.
outblack lowercase at hotmail.com.
Outblack lowercase?
Yes.
Yes.
At
At
hotmail.com.
hotmail.com. As viewers will remember on our chat channel show, I have absolutely no idea about this medium cyberspace. So say it again.
Outblack.
Yeah.
Lowercase. At hotmail.com.
And have you got a phone number? .com. Just so what happens if you don't have an email